My most vivid memory of the Cold War is when I was in junior high school in the Bronx. We were told that the Soviet Union could attack us at any time with an atomic bomb, and that we had to have regular drills once a month. And the drills were comprised of an immediate attack, which meant the bomb was falling across the street from the school, and we were told to hit the floor. And everyone in the class, like 30 students, would immediately jump under the desk and to crouch under the desk for a minute, so that when the bomb hit and all the glass went flying, we would be protected against the glass. And then once a month, when we had a couple of moments of warning, we were told to immediately leave the classroom, go out into the corridor. You had hundreds of students out in the corridor, all crouching down, sort of like our hands over our head, and being quiet for a minute. And inevitably, there would be one student, in particular, the student went on to become a stand-up comic of Robert Klein, who would, in the midst of all this absolute silence, would go, simulating the falling of the bomb, which would crack everybody up. So you had about 200 students who were laughing hysterically, and the teachers trying to get everybody quiet. So that's my memory of this faceless enemy that was going to attack us and kill all these poor little elementary school children. Fears were being stirred up in this country, especially among young people, but among everyone, by McCarthyism and by people who were just very much on the right, political right. No, the Soviets, the Russians, my father was born in Russia. They never threatened us. They never said, we're going to go to war with you. The fear was appeared to be drummed up by Americans as a way to accomplish some goals that we never understood. But here we were told we were going to be destroyed, we were going to be attacked, and we didn't know by whom. We didn't have a sense of, it wasn't like World War II, where the enemy was clearly defined. So that's what I mean by faceless. It was something, the dots were not connecting to each other. Something was wrong with this picture of being so afraid of a group of people that didn't seem to have a reason to be afraid of.
Yes, I mean, dentistry has changed an awful lot. Most of the changes have been after that. I know in recent years, like when I went to dental school, we had a class of about 90 or 100, and there was only 2 women in the class, and that showed, in my particular workforce, it was very, very male-dominated. It's only been probably from the 90s on that women in large numbers. Now I think there are more women in dental school than there are men. In fact, Tufts a few years ago was actually going out trying to recruit young men who were in college to go to dental school because they just didn't have enough applicants. That's changed an awful lot.
I was teaching junior high school science in the Bronx. I was teaching 7th and 8th grades. And I'll never forget the day the students had gone out for lunch, and I ate my lunch in the classroom. I had a sandwich. And then right after lunch, close to 1 o'clock, one of the students came running into the classroom before the rest of the class got there and said, Mr. Cohen, the president just got shot. And my immediate reaction was that we don't joke about things like that. That these are serious things, and you shouldn't make cracks about something. And he said, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. The president just got shot. And I was in shock and disbelief. And as the students kept pouring into the class, all they could talk about was the fact that President Kennedy was shot. They had all heard it on somebody's portable radio in the lunchroom, and word just went around the school like wildfire. And then the teachers started coming into the classroom saying, "Did you hear?" And then all we could do was get a hold of a radio. In every class in the school somehow got a hold of a portable radio. And we listened to the news account all afternoon. Nobody could do any teaching. And it was just something we had not been prepared for. Subsequently, Martin Luther King was assassinated and JFK was assassinated, but up until that time, no one had any experience to prepare us for news of this gravity.
The one unusual thing that happened to us while I was in there, a lot of times I would fly on, they'd call me part of the crew. They just technicality, it gave me a good flight. And I flew from Washington at that time. That was in about 1956 or 57. And we flew down to Havana. And Castro was not in charge yet. It was still a dictator by the name of Batista. And we flew down with a foreign aid group, flew them down. And as a result, they gave us free ticket to big nightclubs where they had nightclubs almost like Las Vegas. And we went over to I think it was called the Sans Souci, which means without cares. And it was a terrific time, and they paid for everything. You tend to remember something like that. They even gave us enough money to gamble with. And that was one of the perks of the Air Force while I was in there.